Okay, now we're going to test this and see if it actually works. So I'm going to sit down here. Dog, move out of the way. All right. Dog, move. Okay. So this is David Ivory, and I am here out in the field. The other day, I was here pruning the vines, and I'm going to prune some more now. But as I was passing by this spot, I saw a very interesting plant, and I shared it on Twitter, and I asked the readers, I asked you if you could identify that plant, and I gave a hint from the Bible. I said that if you look in Genesis chapter 30, you might find this plant. So some of you wrote responses and wrote the correct response. Now I'm going to share with you the reading of the Torah in Genesis chapter 30, and I am sitting right next to this plant, so I'll share more about the plant as well. And as I read Genesis chapter 30, I'm going to share some thoughts, and you too are welcome to comment and share your thoughts on this chapter 30. Now I'm reading this tanakh. Tanakh is the Jewish Bible, and this is a very nice edition. I have the large hard copy, but that's hard to carry around. So recently I picked up this soft cover, and it's a nice handheld size that I can take in my bag while I'm touring around the country. But being that it's a very soft cover and I want to carry it in my bag, I made this box out of another box. I cut it down and adapted it to fit the Tanakh, the Bible, and now I've got this really neat box that fits exactly, and this protects the Bible, protects the cover, and I can just place this in my knapsack and carry it around, and then pull it out when I get to a location in the land of Israel that I would like to read a verse or a chapter because it is related to that place. Last week I was in Nachal David and En Gedi, at the place where there are caves, and that is the place that is told about in the book of Samuel, of the meeting of King David, or David before he was king, and Saul, the king of Israel, in the cave. But I won't go into detail about that right now. I'll speak about Genesis chapter 30. So this Tanakh, as I was describing, is a Hebrew-English Jewish Bible, Tanakh. It has the Hebrew, the original Hebrew, and on the same page, just across from it, the verses in English. So it's very convenient. I read the chapter yesterday in Hebrew. Now I'm going to read it in English and share some thoughts on the translation and on the content of the chapter. So it says, when Rachel, or in Hebrew we say Rachel, when Rachel saw that she born Jacob or Yaakov no children, she became envious of her sister. And Rachel said to Jacob, "Give me children or I shall die." In Hebrew she said, "What is my life worth with no children?" Jacob was incensed at Rachel and said, "Can I take place of God, who has denied you fruit of the womb?" He said, "What do you want from me? I'm not God. I'm just a man, and you have no children. It's not my fault. This is the divine decision for you. You have no children." She said, "Here is my maid, Bilhah. her maid, her servant, her slave, Bilhah, she gave to Jacob, and she said, have children from this woman, and they will be like my children. She said, here is my maid Bilhah, consort with her, that she may bear on my knees, and through her I too may have children. So she gave him her maid Bilhah as a concubine, and Jacob cohabited with her. Bilhah conceived and bore Jacob a son. And Rachel said, God has vindicated me. He has heeded my plea and given me a son. So Rachel, considered the child of Bilhah, her slave, to be her son. Therefore, she named him Dan. This works out in the Hebrew, Danani, Dan. Rachel's maid Bilhah conceived again and bore Jacob a second son, and Rachel said, a fateful contest I waged with my sister, and yes, I have prevailed. So she named him Naphtali, and again this works with the original Hebrew. When Leah saw that she stopped bearing, she took her maid, Zilpah, and gave her to Jacob as a concubine. And when Leah's maid, Zilpah, bore a son to Jacob, Leah said, what luck! So she named him Gad. Again, this name works in rhymes with the wording in Hebrew, Gad. When Leah's maid Zilpah bore Jacob a second son, Leah declared, what fortune! Meaning, women will deem me fortunate. So she named him Asher. Again, this has significance in the Hebrew. Once at the time of wheat harvest, Reuben, who was the son of Leah, came upon some mandrakes. Mandrakes is the flower or the plant that I showed you, mandrakes. When at time of wheat harvest is after Pesach. We are now a month and a week before Pesach, Passover. So in about 2-3 months, the fruit of the mandrakes will be ripe or dry. And the mandrakes now are very green. I will show you again what the mandrakes look like at the end of the class. In any case, Reuben came upon some mandrakes in the field and brought them to his mother Leah. Rachel said to Leah, please give me some of your son's mandrakes. But she said to her, was it not enough for you to take away my husband? You would also take away my son's mandrakes? So there's a conversation or a exchange going on between Rachel and Leah, and Rachel wants the mandrakes. The mandrakes must have some importance here. Rachel replied, I promised he will lie with you tonight in return for your son's mandrakes. So they strike a deal. Rachel wants the mandrakes, and she in return gives up her turn with Jacob. When Jacob came home from the field in the evening, Leah went out to meet him and said, you are to sleep with me, for I have hired you with my son's mandrakes. These mandrakes are very valuable. They've struck a bargain here. And he lay with her that night. God heeded Leah, and she conceived and bore him a fifth son. And Leah said, God has given me reward for having given my maid to my husband. So she named him Issachar. Issachar also means a payment or a being paid. She was paid off by God. When Leah conceived again and bore Jacob a sixth son, Leah said, God has given me choice gift. This time my husband shall exalt me, for I have borne him 6 sons. So she named him Zevulun. Last she bore a daughter and named her Dinah. Now God remembered Rachel. God heeded her and opened her womb. She conceived and bore a son. God has taken away my disgrace. So she named him Joseph, Yosef HaTzadik. And we are in the land of the tribes of Joseph, Yosef HaTzadik, the tribes of Menashe and Ephraim. We are at Kfar Tapuach. Kfar Tapuach in the book of Joshua is noted as a border stone between the brothers, between the tribes of Menashe or Menashe and Ephraim. So she named him Joseph, which is to say, may the Lord add another son to me, Yosef, Yosef. He will add another son to me, and we know that later on, Rachel bore another son who was called Benjamin, and his land of inheritance is just south of us in the land of Benjamin. All right, everyone, that's it for now in chapter 30. There is some more in chapter 30. Open up your Bibles and take a look. Feel free. I would enjoy hearing your comments on this class. And subscribe if you're enjoying my videos. And give me a like if you'd like. And send in your comments because I'd like to hear from you if you're enjoying this class and what you have to say about the verses and the wonderful places that we are visiting in the land of Israel. And just to give you a peek, this is the Mandrake. You can see it here. And you can see those balls are the fruits of the Mandrake. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Be well. Blessings from the land of Israel.